Afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Just give it a minute or two, and then we'll get going. I'll warn you now, I'm going to ask you some questions because I'm a little bit confused. I think you probably understand why when I go through it. Yeah, we've got that stage 6 now. Yeah, well, just about to mention that half past, but yeah, yeah. Thank you, Howard. Now you opened up the conversation, so I'm going to throw it back at you. Why? Believe me, I'm not being clever. I have no idea. Going to go through a couple of things because we can learn from this go figure times. Just be aware in the future that the market can be very strange. And this is definitely one of them. So if you're looking for the holy grail of knowledge from you on that one, Mr. Slabbert, I think you might have to find somebody else. I make a joke of it, but I'm a little bit annoyed because it doesn't make sense. Quite right. There's no economic. Just don't understand it why it's suddenly coming off. Safe haven, everything, and then besides the last hour, come down from 150 plus to 105, 105.50. That is. Yeah. Excellent question. Absolutely, Howard. It's 4 o'clock, so I can start there. So start that question. Absolutely. I've mentioned it before a couple of times. I'll mention it again. To me, the major difference now is the advent of the smartphone. The smartphone, there's about 2 billion people have smartphones. 100 years ago, we didn't even have 2 billion people on the entire planet. So there's more people on the entire planet now have a smartphone. So why do I say that? It means they're approachable. It could be robots as well. Okay, good point. Okay, I hadn't thought of that. Could be, yeah. But the main thing is all news, everything now is instant. I can press the button in Singapore, and in South Africa and Australia, they'll get that instantly under pressing that button. We've never had that kind of technology in the past. So the problem with that is the movements in motion, and by the way, the takeoff of the retail market. Since COVID, it's gone up horrendously. I can't give you exact figures, but it's now a big player. It used to be where the retail, the man in the street, the retail market was a minor sort of area. It was about 12 million people a few years ago, 3-4 years ago. Now it's saying it's about 30-40 million or more. I think even more than that. I'm not sure. I can't give you the exact figures, but it's a hell of an increase. And there's a lot of emotion flying, enormous amount of 24/7 news channels, all this. When I was trading, I'd say maybe 10 years ago, maybe that you went 80% technical and a couple of funds. Some maybe more than 80%, maybe 85%, I don't know. But at least 80% technical, 20% fundies, or whatever you like to call them. That has changed now. A lot of people say it's about 60 technical, 40 fundies. It's almost getting at this moment, almost 50-50. But we'll stick at 60-40. That's why it's so different. And that's what, for me, has made it much more difficult. Because, as you quite rightly said, the dollar, what the heck is it doing down there? No fundamentals or whatever. So obviously there's something going on, but it could be a player somewhere in the world, or some news has come out, or institutions acted on it, or something like that. Or some big banks and enormously powerful institutions like Goldman Sachs suddenly think, well, maybe something to do with interest rates won't occur, or put out some emotions like that. And this is extreme interference because, as I say, technically, that just what made that. It literally, what's the time now? 4 o'clock. In 1 hour and 2 minutes, it's come straight back to 104.99 from above 105.50. So this is where the frustration kicks in. Just going to mention that by sheer unbelievable coincidence, just you pop that question. Maybe that's radio waves between our brains through the ether. Just amazing after that moment. I was bring off the session with that. Now, while I'm on that subject, I want to go to the US dollar rand. Right, now I need some help on this because this is a serious go figure for me anyway. Look at this dollar rand. I don't often trade it as I mentioned before, but I was thinking maybe we could make an exception. We've gone from stage 2, 3 to stage 6 load shedding. Eskom's under unbelievable problems, and it looks like I read up that the Medupi is going to have major maintenance problems right up to 2024. The Koeberg nuclear power station there will be off for 6 months or so maintenance. Ramaphosa still being pushed for impeachment. What's his name? Kasatu. I'm not going to back in the next election. He's still around. These are all powerful negatives on the rand. The dollar, well, it was actually, you see it's coming off now on the daily, but up to an hour or so ago, we're talking about 3 o'clock-ish, it was quite strong and rising. So you've got a stronger dollar. It looks like it's flowing back into strength. The dollar was mentioned this morning, and everything you can think of is on a weak rand. So what happens? Go bloody figure. If you'd asked me, I don't know, because I mentioned about the costs involved, but if you call me up and say, what about a trade round about these levels here on the rand dollar? Do you think it's got a dollar rand? Sorry, completely wrong way around. Dollar rand. Would you consider some upside there? And I said, well, there's no guarantees, but it's a high probability upside. Look what's happened. Come on, you some clever guys out there, help me out here. Guys and girls. I mean, when I say guys, I mean the first American way, which means boy or girl. Help me, because dollar's falling off. Okay, that might have something to do with it. It's only just fallen off the last hour. Rand plump sort of comes off. Sorry, the rand suddenly strengthens, and when we've got stage 6 load shedding. I mean, go figure. You don't make any sense of that. Thank you. I say we can't use foul language on here, although everyone uses in everyday life and on TV now, but absolutely. I mean, I haven't met you, Anna Marie, so I'm an intelligent person. I've chatted quite a lot with Gerard. You certainly sound like an intelligent guy. I don't think I'm a complete moron. Oh, I just don't understand that. If any of you were on this trading session 2 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago, plus minus, and you saw the rand round about these levels, I go to a day chart. It's come off the bottom there, somewhere at right, there's a day chart, maybe to where the crosshair is there. Do you see upside? It's the bottom of the range, dollar strengthening. Ramaphosa will go through all the fundamentals just mentioned, including load shedding 6. This is to me a very high probability to go wrong on that trade, and the thing comes off. That's the times when I have to say, if it goes wrong or something like that, just say, shrug your shoulders, think, God, you had a stop loss in. Thank God you had proper volumes, you didn't overexpose, etc. Sometimes you can be annoyed because you didn't overexpose, you're disciplined, and you thought going in more and you didn't. It took off and you wish you had, to be fair, but still stick with the discipline. So there are times I can honestly say, sorry guys, that trade went against you and I have no idea why. And that was just, that put it down just to discuss this when Carl picked it up just a minute or so ago. I thought I'm starting my session asking you, maybe I'm missing something, maybe I'm cracking up, I don't know. But that makes absolutely no sense to me at all. Unless there's some piece of information out there I've missed. Like something about 100,000 shares of cars being bought. Never saw any follow up on that. But let's assume that's true. Well, it would have a positive effect on the yen, which I didn't know about until somebody mentioned it. I haven't checked to see whether that's fact or not, but you get the point. But yeah, I have to say, in all honesty, that throws me. Now, I teach you all about indicate like 50-day moving averages, positions, economic calendars, dollar index, all these things we go through which we control. And then, you know, all that expertise and experience, and that comes back and sort of shrug your shoulders. Yeah. Well, I haven't seen it. If there is, Mike, if you've seen it, I haven't. I'm afraid to, well, it might to you, it didn't make sense to you. Believe me, it's not making a heck of a lot of sense to me at the moment. I mentioned earlier on just now about the smartphone is a wonderful thing to have, but one of its major problems, it makes us all susceptible to, quite frankly, a large amount of misinformation at the touch of a button. And the problem is now you don't know what to believe anymore. So much spin or fake news going on out there, or if not outright lies, half-truths and exaggerations and goodness knows what. The head is spinning just to find out is any validity or credibility in some of the 24-hour channels, the stuff they pour out on, you know. Good evening, Mr. Luke. So when that happens, that's what I say. You've got to make sure that however good you are, make sure you're disciplined with your stops and volumes, because you're going to have times when you can ask Mr. Analyst up, who's got 60 degrees and been doing for 60 years, and he's got all the computers in the world, and he's going to turn around, he's an honest person. I haven't got a cooking clue. And I'm not making this up in some sort of I'm annoyed or sour grapes because I get it wrong or whatever. I've seen many times on experts who run hedge funds, institutions and things like that come up and say, well, I'm a little bit surprised at the moment. Go figure. So yeah, so the way around it, we get the trades right, but sometimes you're just going to have to say, thank goodness I was disciplined on my stop and my volumes, because this can happen where, yes, I'll admit I forgot that. I forgot to look at the fundamental. I forgot to look at the weekly chart. I forgot that. I put my hand up. I will admit it. This time I have to say I'm missing something here because it makes no sense. That is a buy. It's a buy. That's a buy. If ever I saw a high probability trade, never guarantee we know, high probability trade, that would have been a buy. Never mind costs, I'm talking about the principle. That would have been a buy. Everything indicates a buy. So where are the buyers? Why are people selling it? To me, it makes no sense. Unless they're all in the southern hemisphere or in somewhere standing on their heads, I don't know, but makes no sense to me. But that was a few days ago. The non-farms have membered on Friday. We're now into Wednesday. Most of that's been discounted in the market. And anyway, I think the non-farm came at 260, expecting 200. What's 60 to 203? It was up about 28%, something like that, off the top of my head. Up above expectations. That's highly inflationary. That's screaming interest rate increases, screaming currency strength. And the currency is oversold, the dollar I'm talking about. It's not a moaning session, it's a confused session to start off with. Sorry, guys.
Not a problem, Robert. Sorry. If you look at what I said, Roger, is that non-farm productivity quarter to quarter is 0.8 instead of the expected 0.6, but it's all 2 stars. So it's under, it's a lower ranking for us, as well as a unit labor cost. It's much lower for quarter 3. Maybe this 2 fundamentals had an influence on the dollar. It was reported at 3:30.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks very much. But to indicate I picked up there was a 2-star. I filled out the 2-star because normally they're 2 stars for a reason. They're not that important. This is quite a major movement. That's a 3-star fundamental movement. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If the 2-star could have that kind of effect, I'm sure they wouldn't have filled it out for it. I'd have left it in. You know, actually, I'll tell you something of interest, James. Well, the weekly jobless claims used to be 2-star. It's become 3-star because inflation worries. That's why I take much more notice of it. But the weekly jobless claims used to be 2-star, and basically not very relevant, no, but very rarely had much effect. It's only recently, since COVID, it's had more of an effect because it's worry on inflation. But the fact is, if it's a 2-star, how did it have that effect? So I like your assistance there, but my question would be, it's a 2-star. Why? You know, it's over the top. It's like, I can't think of a good expression. You know, it just doesn't make sense, you know. But I hear you. This is 702, especially Mrs. name, that says that the small economy will be much more important than the previous, although like take on the fate a little. That could well be it, but this is all sort of long-term talk. That could well be. It's like getting off fossil fuels, but that's not happened the last hour. You know what I'm saying? There's some knee-jerk reaction last hour. That's a big move. I'm looking right in front of my screen now. My charting screen is on the right, the other screen right in front of me, and I'm seeing a big fat red move down. So something's happened there. That's like macroeconomics, yeah. But that's just a fat move down. All I can say is some news has come out, been released, and I haven't been made aware of it yet, unless somebody's seen something. But I'm not sure I'm too much fun, in all honesty, buying a 2-star rating to have that kind of effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Roger, but looking at, they reckon the unit labor cost, they expected a 3.1%, and instead for Q3, it was 2.4. So maybe, because there's quite a difference, 0.7%.
Right. That is quite a difference. To be fair, if the costs are coming down, hey, the lights come back off. Stage 4, been off for over 4 hours. Okay, that would have an effect, yeah, because that's less inflationary, if you like. Sounds horrible, but less people in jobs means less people spending money, which means less inflationary. So, yeah, which should be a bit of a negative, funny enough, for the dollar. Sounds cockeyed and back to front, but that's the way it is at the moment. But yeah, I take your point. I still think I'm still a bit surprised. I still think there must be more to it. But anyway, interesting way to start it off. So I'm not being negative, I'm just being a little bit on the confused side. Okay, right. So there's the dollar rand. Plus, I don't advise you getting it. If you want to do it, I think it's still got enough, probably upside. I see upside rather than downside from here. If you want to trade it, but bear in mind, the costs are quite hectic on it. But there's got to be some rational sense coming into this where it moves back up again. So I do see the trade. I won't send it out because a lot of people aren't aware of the costs involved. They'll jump into it and then suddenly find they're making not what they should make, and because they weren't aware of that fact. Okay, you are. So if you want to do it and you're aware of it, that's fair enough. But I do see upside if you want to go for the exotic. Okay. I'm just going to make sure I've got the facts right. I can't remember what it is now. It's like 15 or something. 19 pips. That's a bit hectic. 19 pips. Just remember that. Okay, Richard, sorry. Right. When you're doing this, just to confuse you more, ignore the last 2 digits. Okay. I'm going to put the stop down. Where should I put the stop? Obviously below 17. And make it, let's do it properly. I think it's going to be too far away down here. It's quite a long way away, but I think we should, to be fair, we should do it there. 16.85. Just below this guy here. It's a bit far, and then take, I think there's a good chance of getting back up here. What's that say? 17.75, 17.74. Better. That's the problem. Just remember, it is quite costly of this, and you normally ignore the last one, but here you've got your last 2. So just look at these. Just ignore that. That's what you look at. So it's 131 at the moment, or 129. You get the idea. Okay, it's 265 a micro. You can have a tighter stop to go in for a micro if you want, but I think it might be prudent to have it here. So if you can afford for 1 micro, $270, or if you can afford more, go for it. If you can, let's say, I would say if you got a $4 grand or above account, otherwise, because it is an exotic and the costs involved, below 4 grand, it's up to you. I suggest you give it a miss. But if you got 4 grand or more, and you got free margin, no good saying I've got 5 grand and you got 4 grand on the market, that's not going to work because your margin is higher on this. It's about 650 odd rand per micro margin. So your margin will be a bit higher unless you're on a high leverage account like 500 to 1. If you're in a 100 to 1 account, it's going to be over about 650, can't remember exactly, around about the 60-50 mark per micro. So I would suggest if you've got free margin, you've got 4 grand above account, maybe look for a micro. If you've got a bigger account still, obviously you can double up or whatever, you can work your own risk out. Just giving you that to remind you. But for me, a sanity of a high trade to me would be this as a buy. I've just enumerated all the fundamental issues, yeah, and it's right down on support there. I think it's a possibility upside, but don't touch it if you haven't got an account that can handle it. Okay. If you want to do it and you can afford it, I'll write it down. But I just want to be absolutely aware of the cons as well as the pros on it. Okay. Okay, well, I'll write down there, we keep an eye on it. If you want to go in, you can. Was it 16, 17, 14, 16, 86, 7, 14, 3, actually. Put it all down properly. And TP 17.74 and another 0. I will not be sending that out, as I say, on the group, because say there are guys on there who might not be aware of the pitfalls of costs on that. Okay, so we'll have a look. Yeah, no problem. Now, you gave me a shout earlier on. I wish you hadn't now. So I thought maybe go and risk a GBP USD. I get the impression we're pretty small, so I hope you're not going to suffer too much. But the damn thing then bounced back up. It was a lucky thing. Right, it was down here. It's breaking through. The dollar was nice and strong. And I said, look, if it does come off, you can add to it. Rather get a small A. Finally, you spoke to me, but it looks like it's coming off. Another thing just popped back up again. Very surprising indeed. So, yeah, I'm a bit of a confused trade at the moment. Some guys out there I know are doing quite well. I thought going the wrong way. Luckily, I didn't phone them up and mention that because it's turning out all right for them. So, yeah, at least I'm admitting I'm a confused oak at the moment. All right. Okay. So let's see if 122 holds. We get some sort of a pullback. In theory, in all honesty, we should do. The dollar's having a back attack to try and get above 105. Hope that's going to be the case. Okay. Very surprising. Euro dollar doing just fine. Then decided just to pop back up again. Now look at it. Not back to 105, but popped his head back up there. Sure. So the guys in there, you got your stops. Remember, I said, don't move it yet. You probably wish you had knocked out breaking even. Now you're on to from a blue to a red. There, that being as it may, I still see downside, even though it's in the buy zone. And if you haven't gone on board and you agree with me, you can sell it. The guys who did buy it are doing okay, as it turns out, in the last couple of hours, because they've been bitching like hell 2 or 3 hours ago when it was 104.60 odd. But yeah, it's popped up. It seems to be holding. Let's have a look at the shorter term chart. Yeah, it's starting to come back off again on the 4 hour. Let's look at the hourly. Yeah. So if you haven't joined it, I think you can do worse than joining it now. I think you get a better entry in the previous ones. Trading idea we got in, trading signal we got going, and we'll stick with the same stop. Anyone not in and want to go in on this one? If we do, I'll put the R up for you. Okay. But don't double up, like I said. Okay, if you want, but I'm suggesting you don't, of course. Okay, sure. I'm going to stick with the previous one. Got 1.0612 and 10255. 1.0255. There we are. Bear in mind, the TP is just to get a decent risk-reward ratio to make sure after that, don't worry about it. If it reaches there, not often, they don't often reach there. It doesn't matter. You have to do well, even if by taking profits. If it comes all the way down here and starts to bounce, won't get through, might be worth taking it. If it goes through, you can go in again, rather than holding it and shooting back up again. So a lot of problem we have with beginning guys. I totally understand it. I would be exactly the same when I started. You think the TP is the goal. Why stop halfway through? But the ups and downs of the market sometimes find the TP can change, situation can change. As you know by now, the jumping around. Mainly, like I said to Gerard earlier on, the fundamental access that the information source has to us all through the smartphone. Okay, access to the radio, internet radio, everything. Hoards these 24/7 channels, you name it. Okay, so yeah. I think you can do worse than shorting on that. If you're in, of course, stay there. If you're not in, there you are. You got a decent bite of the apple there, bite of the cherry, or whatever the expression is. Yeah. Okay, right. Got that? Fine. I'll knock it off. I've already got it written down anyway for the previous one. As you know, knock that off if you're in. GBP USD. Well, I don't know. I'll have to go back to the drawing board on this one. I thought it's going to break through and away we go. And I just pop straight back up again. Still think it's going to break through, but I think if you're in, sorry about that. If you're not, I think just be a bit more prudent, wait for the break. See if the dollar can strengthen more. I think it's at 5 o'clock Canadian interest rate decision. I can't guarantee it, but I'm very, very, very sure it's going to stick to the expected. Remember, these guys don't like to spook the market. So if it's outside the expectation, you can get big, big movements. So expecting 0.5% increase, and almost certainly will be. Where the difficulty comes in, how the market reacts. And we all know the markets react to some of this information to be sometimes very surprising, sometimes quite frankly over the top, but we'll see. Okay, Brent, again, I don't know what the problem with it is. Going to get going. I see the upside. I'm going to stick with that. I'm not going in again as yet. I've already been stopped out in it. I'm not fine to go back in again for these. So, but look at this. It just hasn't had any movement. Look at that on the hour chart. It's come off the buyers that come in, and look at this. And the last time, to be fair, the buyers have come in on that wick to defend it. I get that. So I can let these guys in. I get that completely. And I think the upside is there, but I don't want guys to just jump in and try and get their money back because last time around and it hits them again. But but be honest, taking out that chit shadow and before out, I just cannot see the producers sticking around this kind of price. I think they're going to try and get it up higher up again. I think they like it in the $90 range. So do I see a bit of upside on this? Yes, I do. If you want to risk going in again on it, well, that's your choice. We'll stick to the $4 stop. Remember, Clinton made about 75. That was possible, but a $76 stop and take it up to. Let's have a look now. Take it up to about $90. That's good enough. You get a 2.5 to 1 ratio. So if you want to go back into it, you can. But if you have doubts or uncomfortable with it, don't. And if it smacks you, sorry about that. Sorry about that, but don't blame me. Blame the bloody market. Markets like politicians, they're paid to be blamed. Okay, so if you want to do it, I'll put a RR if you want to go in again. $4 stop. I can tell you exactly what it is. A micro is $4. Which is what was about $70. $4 is $70 a micro if you want it. Remember the contract size? Remember I showed you? Always got to check the contract size. Where's Brent on this one? Here we are. Right click, and then you'll see it's 100. Some come in different contract sizes. We have 100. As I say, that means $1 movement is $100 on the standard. $10 per dollar movement on a mini, and $1 per dollar movement on a micro. So if your stop is $4 away, quite simply, your risk is $4. Multiplying around is about $70. Okay. Hope you've all got that. Okay, so you want to do it, there you are. Not, we'll move on. Okay, Coney, happy? Well, happy, but do you understand? Behaves like this, and happy is the right word. Sense of humor is very much the thing to keep on. Anyway, dollar's gone back to 105. We might get some recovery here. Look at the CAD JPY. Obviously, don't do it now because we don't know the reaction is going to be at 5 o'clock to the almost certain 0.5% increase. It might be expecting that to happen, or it might actually respond. Or they might say, oh, no, this is no good, it should be more, and it might weaken a bit more. But I feel that once that's out, we'll finish the session here, see what the reaction is, we might get a buy on it. I'm still nervous to sell it.
I think the only back row here is the Brent that do not come off.
Say again, sorry, Tony. Say again, I missed that.
Sorry, I see the fact that the Brent is not coming off, that can hamper the movement on the Canadian.
Well, yeah, yeah. So as you know, as oil producer, yeah. If it does, the Brent can start meeting up 80, being A1, I think that Canadian's oversold. I think I've the upside. I'm waiting to press the buy button. It's taken all my discipline and quite frankly a little bit of help from you guys as well. Like yesterday, not to press the damn thing, just as bloody well I didn't. So I'm just hovering, ready to go for a buy, but I'm just being disciplined, holding the finger back. I'm a bit trigger happy on it, so I'm going to be a bit careful. But it indicated to me, but what's holding me back, the 5 o'clock outcome. What is going to be the reaction of the almost certain 0.5% increase? I think in theory it should strengthen it, but you never bloody know. Okay, good point. I've got an alarm clock on for that. Make sure I switch the alarm off. I've got it charging now. Yeah. Righty. So let's go over there as we speak. 15 minutes and then NAS, just see how that's going to react. NAS has come off nicely. It's broke to the round figure. See if we can sustain the downside. Stop this. Talk about a trigger happy, you can't press the right button there. Okay, thanks for the reminder. I'm just going to put it on to zoom out a bit. See how that reacts. Then we'll look at the shares, see how Meta's doing. In theory, in all sanity, which is probably the wrong word to use in the market at the moment, that we should do okay on opening because it's down from yesterday, as you can see. This was yesterday. Okay, a bit quiet. Just remember, guys, this can jump around a lot. So I will try and tell guys on small accounts, be hell of a careful with the NAS because it can jump. Not that much happening at the moment, but it can in a few minutes jump either way, up and down, you know, in quite a remarkable amount. It seemed to be 150 pips in 15 minutes. And that's $15, you know, that's about 240 bucks, rands that is. And if you're on a $1,000 account, that's 25%, literally in 15 minutes, which is a bit hectic. Okay, see how it goes. Let's see. Anyway, looks like you're going to bounce up, just stuffing me up now. Let's go to BA. Thank goodness, so that's coming off now. Don't know who took it in the end, because that's coming off. Okay, Baba. Hey, bloody hell. Am I going insane here? The market is behaving like I expect it to. So I'm a bit bitter and twisted here, guys, after that rand dollar then. Anyway, so at least that's coming off. So that's doing quite nicely. So we're in the Baba. 92, it's now 87. So $5 a share in profit. And $5.80 shares a decent profit. Remember that. You've got to compare the prices. A $500 share, that's squat. Remember that. Well, that's not bad to start with. Oh, pleasant. Let's have a look at. We're not in F stocks, so I'll leave that. What else we get into? Microsoft for Meta. Meta, well, I'm a bit disappointed. It's in profit, but I thought it'd come up a bit more than that. Anyway, $4 profit a share on that one. Microsoft, we got in at 253. Where's it written down? 253.60. So we're nearly $10, about $9 a share off, just over $9 a share in profit. So that's not too bad. I think you might as well get your Microsoft, if you're still in that, you should be. I'd be surprised if you're not. I don't know why you take profit. But if you're in it and you took it, I'd get your stop down to just a bit better than break even. 250, make it 253 stop. Then you can't lose in the trade and you can hopefully get the TP out of it. That's a nice start to the morning opening. Okay, so those are shares sorted out. Oh, XOM. You sound written down. Hey. Nearly forgot that. XOY, sorry. Occidental. Mentioned yesterday, you look for a short there, Gerard. I'm looking for a long. I think if you think Brent's going to rise from here, which I do, I would look for a long and not a short. Technically speaking, it seems to be holding around that 200. It's had a bounce now. I think we might get a bit of move on Brent. So if you like this, we can look at it. Maybe put the stop a little bit lower. See these guys here? Just below these guys. 62.45, that's a bit close. Is this too far? $60, $4. How far can we take it to? That's too make it there. 62, make it 62.50. Just write that down and I'll post it to tell me what you think. Oxy. Was it stop loss? What I say is 62.50. Yeah, 62.50, 64.70, 70, and TP. Make it around $70. I should do it. There we are. Anyone like the figures on this? Anyone want to do this as a buy? If you, or do you want to do the short? Come to that. I think it's a buy, but if anyone do a short on this one, or a buy or anything. Okay, the risk reward I'll put down for you second on the buy. Do you want me to bring up the calculator? Can, if you like. I can do it in my head, but I'll bring it up for you guys. Just give me a second. Let's get these guys out of the way, and I'll stop the show and do that. Okay, stop the share. And then share screen again. Risk reward calculator. Okay, can you see the calculator? I'm going to put the chat line up. Where is it? So you can see the calculator. Can you see it?
Yes.
Great. Okay, entry price. What's the entry again? 64.70. It's the wrong way around here. Take profit comes first. Must have confused myself there. And the stop loss 62.50. Right. Okay. The margin is 5% on all of them. So that means the leverage is what? 5 to 100 is what? 20. Okay. So it's 20 to 1 leverage. Combining a million to one account or 1 to 1 account. That's the leverage. Okay. Right. Let's go in. And then move down. So your margin is $3 or dollars. This, remember. Right. Don't ignore the 4,000. It's irrelevant. Ignore it. One quantity of one share, 1.0. Remember, not 0.1, but 1.0. Here's your com, all in dollars. That's 13 cents in American cents. Remember. So the risk is clearly 2 to 1, and if you go in, your risk is $2.45. Okay. So if you go in that market now and you put 1.0 down, your risk is $2.4. Which is what, 15, that's 30, it's about $40, is that right? Yes, about 40 Rand. So plus minus 40 Rand per 1.03 on dollars, obviously it's clearly in front of you. But for Rand guys, which I think most of you are, it's 40 Rand a share. So if your order is 400, you put in 10.0. Don't be frightened, that's the correct volume, believe it or not. I know you used to Forex, you get worried, 0.2, no, 10.0 for 400, 40 Rand. If your order is 60, it's 1.5. You can go fractional, so it's 1, 1.5, or 2, or 2.5. Just work it out from there. Happy guys. Just going to put that down because I quite like it. Okay, and now to stop the share. Have you all got that? If you haven't, I've got it written down anyway. And share screen again. There we go. I'll get these guys out of the way. Give me a second. Just posting off to the office to see if they like it or not. On the wrong one now for one. On the training support level. So just give me a second. Haven't come through. Why is that now? Try again. What the hell's that mean? Just sorry, just give me a moment. Bloody thing. It's better. Right. Right. Okay. Pass it on. Good. There you go. Right. Okay. Okay, you guys seem to like it. Good stuff. I think on the wrist anyway. You see the wrist sending it off. Where is it now? Just give me a moment. Where the hell is it now? Here we are. Put it on the other one. That's correct. So much delay, but it's got off to my group. Okay. Going back to trading. Okay. Back soon. Okay, Marie, fair enough. Okay. Right. Just get back on. Okay, sorted. Right, let's see if that pans out. I've got it written down. All right, yeah, so that pans out. Okay, let's have a look at anything new you want to chat at and look at, any chat about? Anything else you want to go through? Not getting going, is it? Not getting going, it's trying to, but anyway, surprising anyway. Anything else you'd like to look at in the meantime? Do you want to go back and check Brent? Take out 80. Baba TP. Baba TP. What's his name? Baba. Baba. Where is it written down? Give me a moment. Baba. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, here we are. 87 is the TP. It is as well. It is as well. 87, we're nearly there. Can you believe it? Thank you for that. Who asked for that one? Gerard, you're a star. Well, I'm sure you know that anyway. Just tell you what you already know. Hey, brilliant. Hey, brilliant. 87. In fact, it might even got there in the last 15 minutes or so. You should have hit your TP. Yeah, you've been out. Hey. If you're not out, you might want to get out. But that's it for TP. Made a nice line through that. What a pleasure. Nice one. Hey. Good, 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 good. Thanks for the reminder. All right. Let's go and see Brent 80, so you can hold there. What was else was it? LUV. I knew I'd missed something. LUV. LUV coming off. Yeah. It's coming off. This is a few days old. I think I forgot where I put the damn thing down. But anyway, it's coming off. What a pleasure. So that's doing okay. So shares are putting a smile back on our faces. Hey, Meta, is that coming off at all? No. All right. That's what we call commentator skirts. Hey, it's going well. Let's have a look. Next one. No, all right. Yeah, but Microsoft still seems to be trying to move down. That's good, but not panicking yet on Meta. We're all in the profit. It's a bit close to modify your stoppers yet. Bottom line's been the profit. I think it's a good chance to keep going. NAS has popped its head up just slightly above 500, but it's hovering a bit. Bit indecisive. You know, that can jump. Let's look at the 15-minute. Can jump. What's the 15-minute chart? Jumped up. Well, okay, so it did jump a bit. Okay. See, 100 pips in 15 minutes. That's about $17, 170 rand, sorry, in 15 minutes. That's why guys with small accounts don't do it. So that's fine. So shares are going okay. I never just got in it, but now we're on a roll. See if this is going okay. Can we get in at Oxy? 64. Oh, it's come off 4 cents, so we'll give it a chance. Okay, well, if the Brent can go up, that should follow it. Okay, we missed the Tesla, and that's my fault. Got cold feet. It was about 195, and I did it, and I did it a little bit more, and we missed that one. Pity about that. You know, we didn't. I want to chase it now. Sorry about the S&P. I thought maybe wait in the S&P when it was about 39.60. Hey, funny. Said you can if you like, but I'm a bit chicken on it. Don't know if you took it anyway, but it's come off a bit. Okay. So at least the overall picture is still around the downside picture being on about seem to be panning out. That's the main thing. Okay. Now I just want to go and check our GBP. Is any dollars just about 105. So the GBP. So just a quick check on that for you guys. Might hold there. Euro dollars, it's starting to come off at all now. Yeah, it's starting to come off. So if you entered it, guys, just there just now, you'll be doing okay. If you're already in, I should always hold in. Good question. I think nearer 4,000. Not sure it's going to get there. See, it's back into breakthrough here. Tried just now and broke up. I'm not sure we're going to get back to 4,000. That's my worry. I think it's going to sit in the sidelines and play it by ear till tomorrow. Have another look tomorrow at the situation there. Because as I say, what I mean by that is, all right, we put a sell limit there. But if it gets back up there, the situation might have changed. There might be some area where suddenly with a roaring bumper movement upwards, and then you're being triggered, it's tunes on up. So I'd rather, I think we'll just hang 5 this week, see something in half an hour's time or so, maybe hang 5 and see if we get a better price tomorrow. but it does risk missing out. But whatever it is, I wouldn't be buying it at this stage. If you think it's getting a bit of upside, rather hang 5, sell the bounce, rather than try and buy the bounce.
Okay, and what about BA? Do you think it's worthwhile going in now? Because yesterday we were quite hesitant.
Yeah, we were. All right, I'm going to throw it back in your court, Fine. You sound an intelligent guy. These are aircraft companies. A lot of people are not flying as much as they used to. They got Zoom. Or it's all right. The oil's come off, but it's still been pretty damn high for quite a while. A few good figures came out 2 or 3 months ago, whatever it was, but that's a long time ago. Yeah, normally I'd say absolutely. I mean, what's it doing right up there? You know, where's the stop? Is it too far away? I think you can manage a $12 stop on $170 share. 21. Yeah, we get a risk reward. Personally, I do actually. I see downside on this. You're going to turn around and say, hang on a minute, Roger. This is just opened. This is, you can see, look at this, a bit of support there. So a few buyers came in. Aren't you going to go right up there again? Oh, God, yeah, difficult. Because it makes no sense to me. That's a high probability short from where it is now. It's just that the fact it's done all this worries me as to why. I think oil's going to go up. I see more downside. If you $12 stop, you should be okay. If it goes up this far, you'll still be in. Okay, so I think maybe a $12 stop and take it down here. Okay. I'll put it up for you anyway, just type it out. Don't need this stuff, it's pretty straightforward. BA, if you like it, tell me, I'll write it down. If you don't, tell me, and then I won't write it down. It's a trade room idea. Call it call it exactly what it is, 177 point, what's it now? 0.10, the manual jump around. SL, $10, so going to $12, so it's going to be 180, make it 188 on the nail, and TP, what is it now? 156. Make it 157 just to be safe. 157, and then just go properly. Risk is $12. That's 12. That's 200 Rand per 1.0. So bottom line is, if you can't afford 200 Rand and you want to go for 100 Rand risk, then you'll put in 0.5. You get the point. So it's 0.5 per 100. So 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. You get the idea. If you like it, tell me. Ponder over that. If you don't want to give it a miss, up to you.
I'm going to take it, Roger, because I see the other airliner Love is coming down quite well. So why not BA?
Why not indeed? Well, it's not an airline, remember, it's a production company, Boeing. Just writing it down, by the way, if you want some sun silences. And 157. Okay. No, fine. Okay, go. Right. Good for you, Mr. Luke. Well, we've got 2 guys, so I've written it down. That's fine. Anyone wants to join? There you are. My good friend Anna Marie's gone trading, not fishing, but gone trading. So maybe she's going to miss out on that. Is it? Okay, well, I'll make you stop with the TP 156 then. Mike, 156. That might get a better risk reward. But I don't want to. I don't want TP any tighter than that. It does some funny things. This thing. You can even take it down if you prefer the TP. The risk will be the same. I won't touch the risk. It's still going to be 100 Rand per half or 200 Rand at 1.0. Maybe take it down to there, 140, 54.50. If you want to do that. Okay. In the days of JSE shares, you had to do minimum 2 to 1 because the damn cost was so hectic. That's why we stopped it. The costs are there, but it's tiny. You know, if you've got to quibble about 10 American cents per share, then you shouldn't be trading. You know what I mean? Well, piece about Bubba, that's bloody money. That came right. That gave us some jip last time around. So it's bad last time. Hey, look at this coming off. So you the guys that took it are happy chappies. Don't chase it now, by the way. If you say, oh, sorry, I don't want to miss out, fear of missing out. No, because now you've got here now a $14 stop or just under, and you got a risk reward is going to be not worth your while. It's up there, written it down, 188. If you went in, that's fine. You put the stop loss in after, not a problem. Once you worked out your volume, it's quite simple at the top. You had 200 rand a share is easy, round figures, no big mathematical computations there. But you put your stop in, it's written there in the trading room, 188 and 157 TP. She's come back now. Pulling the missus now.
Roger, sorry, just a quick question. I have a tendency, if I see like Baba moving in my direction, I start moving the take profit or the target down further. So I didn't take profit on this one, for example. Is it a good thing or a bad thing to your experience?
My experience is, I just can't believe you just said that. I wish I did it more often than most others. We so concentrate on the SL, we go fixated on the risk, we forget about the profit side of it. And many times I forget to move the TP and kick myself afterwards. Absolutely. Yes. If this train is running, why get off the train? You know, why get off the train in the middle of the Karoo if it's going on the way to Cape Town? Absolutely. Move your TP. If you think that where's a BA, one BA in it, yeah. If it starts moving, it's still looking pretty bad and oil's up or whatever, the momentum's there, bring your stop down to protect in case it does bounce and get your TP down here and then move it down again until you're stopped out. Absolutely.
Because I experience now the trade of CHF JPY. I lost half of the profit due to the fact that I changed the stop loss to reduce the risk, and meantime, as soon as it hit back, I didn't concentrate on it and then it knocked me out.
Yeah, now that's the stop loss. So we'll talk about the TP. TP, no problem. The stop loss is a different ball game. That's an argument discussed internally. I believe in modifying it because he's jumping around markets. In the past, I didn't. I let the strategy run, and then only will I modify. If it gets near the TP, I would move the TP and maybe get the stop on the TP or something like that. But that's a while back. Now, because these fluctuating markets and so many variables involved, I do have a habit of modifying the stop to protect. And I'm going to be quite honest, there's quite a few times been knocked out, like the US dollar JPY, knocked out on a modified stop. That made about 110 pips profit. I'll give you that. But I could have made over 200 if I hadn't done that. But there are other times if I don't do it, the thing's an 100 pip profit and it comes flying back again. And then it goes from a fantastic deep blue into the red, if you see what I mean. So it's a bit of a tightrope on how to answer that. But I've decided I'd rather risk missing out on a bigger profit and protect myself more. But that's just my particular opinion. Bottom line is, I still think to stick with that, but the TP idea of absolutely. Many times I've kicked myself to forget to move my TP because it's going well and knocked out the TP and it's still running beautifully. No harm in that. If this is coming down, let's say your TP is where the crosshair is, sorry, the stop loss of the crosshair is, you're not going to lose in that trade. You've got a nice fat profit anyway. And why not? You know, move the TP down and move this down again and down again, down again, and it mops up and stops you out down there instead of there. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But again, to be fair, it depends how much time you can put into it. I've got no excuse. I've got calls to make, and I've got my job to do or whatever. But in theory, a guy who's got time to do it shouldn't make that mistake. The problem is guys often can miss some of those things because they've got a job to do. The guy at work is not paying you to look at your computer all day, or look at your shares all day, if you get my point. But yeah, I agree with all of that, all of it. The major combatant of this is always the fear, the insecurity, the transparency of that up and down movement on your profit loss, the red, blue jumping around. And that does funny things to the brain. And rationality is knocked out the bloody way then. I think I posted, emotion always leaves the logic, that American lady said, always leaves the logic. And we're all guilty of that. Me less so now, I have to be honest, the more practiced at it, but still forfeit sometimes. But yeah, that's your biggest enemy in trading is the fact it's so transparent, your profit and loss. That's why I don't have on the screen, I have a completely separate device. So it doesn't bloody well, I can't help you because I'm busy looking at that, you know what I mean? I've got my strategy, leave the bloody thing alone, you know, and come check it after the 5 o'clock session's finished. But bottom line, yeah, the fixation on that movement does funny things to the brain, and often that's when mistakes are made. But yeah, who knows? Anyway, thanks for the interaction, by the way. I asked that with Mr. Luke about the VA stock. Do you see it there? Posted already on the chat line. I hope you saw that okay.
Sorry, last one. Any, did you had a look at Google maybe, Roger?
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, thanks, Mr. Luke. Okay, Google. Brent's giving me nightmares, this buddy. It looks back below 80 again. I don't know. Little sunny scream up, we're not on board. Oh, anyway. Hey, look at gold. I said leave it alone. Short the rallies, chop right up. Come back to gold. Right, come back to gold just now. Have a look at it. Might be setting up for a short here. Second, gold. Write down so I don't forget. Right. Oh yeah. Where are we now? Google. Well, as you look at that, I've asked this before. We didn't get an answer. Anyone know what Google means? Anyone have any idea what it means? Why the word Google? Anyone know? Well, I'll tell you what it is then. It's 10 to the power of 100, which is an impossibly large number. 10 to the power of 100. So how many billions and trillions that is? Okay, so you know, out of interest, share that with you. Okay, yeah. Looks like a short to me, doesn't it, you?
Yes.
Where's the NAS? NAS is coming off again. Yeah, short. As it pokes up, the sellers come in. We want a decent stop on this above there. $2 won't cut it. Maybe just going to be too far. Now we've got plenty. We put it up there, $7. It's quite a lot. Maybe not a bit lot. Maybe $5. Plenty of downside. Maybe take it here. No, we'll take it right down here. Hey, that's good enough. Goodies, goodies, good enough. Let's write that down for you guys. Google, I just spell it. Google, the whole thing there. Dot sell 95.60, and the stock was about here, wasn't it? Make it $100, and down here is make it 84. Make it 85. Don't know whether to do it. 85. It's good enough. It's a hell of a risk reward. If you want to make a tighter TP, that's up to you. What's the difference? It's $4.60. So I'll just write that down for you now. Give me a second. WL dot. What's the price? 95.60 is the entry. SL 100 on the nail. TP 85 on the nail. Risk is 4. Call it 5 with cost. Make it around $5. 5. What's 5.17 to 85 bucks, or 85 rand per 1.0. I say per share. People got confused. So The habit of dumbing it down too much is habit. Sorry about that. But it's per 1.0. So 85 bucks a share. If you like that, tell me. Well, I've written down anyway to put up there. But tell me and I'll put a tick in it so it's a trading idea.
I'm in. Thank you, Rog.
Okay, Fani. Anybody else want to join? Okay, Mike, Marius, Anne Marie. Great. I think you missed out on the other one we just did there. That was a BA. It's a bit too late to chase now, Anne Marie, I think. Okay, Jans. Well, I'm going to put down Fani on that one because I have to say I didn't think of it. So if it comes right, you get the pat on the back. And if it doesn't come right, you get the virtual custard pie. You did take the Oxy. Good. Let's see what happened there. Well, what are you getting on Oxy? Just let's get the other one out now. Oxy 64.70 was a buy. And what is it now? Slightly off, but not much. Okay. All it's giving me a bit of jip at the moment, but anyway, we'll stick with the buy. It's 30 cents, not going to kill you. We'll see how that goes. The other one, which I think you've missed, unless it's bounced back up again, got it 177.10. It's come off. You're pushing your risk reward if you want to go for this, Anna Marie, unless you make it even wider TP. You've got the TP down here somewhere. If you want to take a TP wider, you can to make it worthwhile, but the stop is wide. I want it out of the way. So it's a 188. What's wrong now? What was it again? Stop loss on that was, 188. So it's a bit of a hectic stop on that. Just bear that in mind. If you want to take it, it's up to you. But to stop, I think any tighter is you're pushing it a bit. So make it a 188 stop, which again is over $13, well, $13.70 as we speak, which is quite a lot. It's about 220 a share, around a share. You get my point. But if you want, it's written up there if you want it. What about Google? Well, we like it, so I put it up. Yeah. So there you are.
I would suggest that we increase or change the stop loss to entry on LUV.
Yeah, simple as that. Just check it again to make sure. Don't jump in. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, when it's so many days ago, I'm just going to fish it out. Just give me a moment to fish it out. It was just a few days ago, it was LUV. Last week sometime. Hang on. LUV. Fishing out all this stuff here. Well, yeah. What was the entry? It was about 39.80 or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah. Yeah, thinking pretty down to entry, I agree. Okay, happy with that? All good? Oh, I haven't put the Google up. Sorry, Anna Marie. Of course you can do it. I haven't put the thing up. Forgot to press the enter button. Sorry about that. Idiot, Roger. Well, you're getting a slightly better price. I did you a favor there. So it's slightly changed around. If you go in now, which I think you can do, it's probably close to about 75 rand a share. But work on 80 bucks a share. There you are, as your risk. Stick with the same stop loss TP. Just it'll always jump around, call that the noise, getting a slightly better price. Okay. 95.60 or better, which is a better price. That's okay. As you can see, it's crept in on opening into the sell zone, so hopefully that'll be all right. What am I asking? Just that crazy. No, I haven't pressed the enter button. Anyway, okay, good stuff. BA, is it still coming off? What's Brent doing? Trying to move up, doing his best, give it due. BA's coming off a bit. Bubba hit the TP, what a pleasure. Euro dollar, any getting out of that? Is it moving it down a little bit? We'll clear on the 15-minute. Just giving me jip as it does. Maybe we'll see. Slap of a short anyway. Right, the pound, what's it? Sorry, go to the other screen quickly. It's recovered 105 on the DXY. What's the pound dollar doing? I think it's trying to come off. We'll see anyway. No, it's not. Someone just WhatsApped me there, actually, asked about it. I'm going to stick with the strategy, but it's not doing that well. Let's just make sure we've got all the figures here. It seems to be holding on the 10-day moving average. So keep your fingers crossed. It's going to hold. The dollar's starting to rise a bit. It might be turned from a signet into a swan later on this evening, hopefully. Okay. What's that rand dollar doing? Bloody hell. Look at it. Now, go figure, hey. Did hit the round figure? Not quite. Maybe some buyers coming here. But as I was saying earlier on, with the impeachment problem of the president, who are they going to choose? All the others seem to be a bit sort of questionable. Load shedding at 6. What was the other thing we're talking about? God, I don't know why that. I don't know. Anyway, the dollar's going up a bit. The rand, that's, I don't know. And all sensible life, that should start moving up anyway. Okay, but so Anna Marie, Mike, sorry, not Anna Marie, Mike rather, not doing it at the moment, but I'll stick with his strategy. I think it's going to come right. See dollar yen's come back a bit. If he comes back to 136 again, I'll take it. Okay, won't come back there the next 20 minutes or so, that's for sure. If it comes back tonight or you're in front of your computer, I'll take it. Check the DXY. If it's shot down to 104, then a different ball game, clearly. But I think it comes back a bit more, you can take it for another move back up again. Okay. Is that all to go through? I think that's all I've got for the moment. All right, great. Yeah. Okay, is Microsoft happening? Sort of quick check to see that, because I like to check to see if we modify and do stuff. That's right, gold I'm going to look at. Well, it's popped up a bit, it's surprising. It's indecision, not a problem, indecision. So that'll come right. Microsoft is still coming off. It might get to our TPN, it's about 236 or something. But anyway, whatever. Microsoft is about $11 a share up. So clearly modify your stock. Okay. Don't leave it in a loss. Make sure that you're in a profit on that one. Meta, wait a little bit. I want to see it start taking out a little bit more before we modify on that. But yeah, at least we're in about $4 a share profit, which is good. BA, I think we're in a bit of a profit last we looked. Where's it, BA? Yep, we're in a profit on BA. And that's good. Baba hit the stop. Sorry, the TP, Freudian slip. And Baba, yeah. So, okay. Oh, yes, gold. Let's have a look at gold. Give me a second. I check my yields. Yields come off quite a bit for some unknown reason. Don't quite know why, which is why the gold shot up. Dollar weakened for some reason, we still haven't found out, shot up. On the 15-minute got right. Look at this. It's a 15-minute chart just a few minutes ago, right up there. Well, the momentum still seems to be up because the yields are up and the dollar a bit iffy. See if we can get a bit better price. Yeah, we might, if it gets somewhere there, we're going to short it again. Somewhere there. Ooh. Mind you, having said that. $20, yeah. 1805 is a $20 stop there. Might pop up a couple more dollars, I don't know. But a $20 stop and a TP down here to 1850 odd. That's too far. Make it 1850. Make it 1850 TP to start off with. You might just scratch a 1.56, 1.6 risk reward. Okay, I'm looking for the short on this one. Looks at the weekly, any problems there? Yep, the weekly is held today. And it's come off, that's today. Missed that today, I should have got that, eh? Well, that was yesterday, beg your pardon. Do you want to risk it now or wait a bit? Okay, Anna Marie, cheers now. Thanks as always for your presence, gracing us with your presence. Catch you tomorrow. Anyone want to take a fly at this one or wait a bit, maybe get to 1790? But I do see downside in this one. Okay, we'll wait on that one then. Not getting an excited response on that. We mentioned FTSE a couple of times. We did quite well. I think so. I agree. Finally, probably pushing a lot a bit there. FTSE. That can't get out of that range. We'll stick with them. Wait to breaks the range or sell the rally. Okay, that's fine. The NAS is still coming off, bouncing around. Okay, same story. Okay, that's me complete. I think bright ideas for the moment. Just hope some of the others come right. What about this Rand? What's it doing? This makes no sense to me. Just hang 5 on this. I feel high probably that's going to go. That Rand's going to weaken against the dollar. Okay, hope for the best. Okay, Pietro. All right, that's all I've got in trade ideas going. Anybody else got anything you'd like to discuss? Anything on the fundamental side you want to discuss? Anything on the charts you want to discuss? Any clarification you require? Anything on that line? You've all got the DXY, you've all got the economic calendar because I've copied and posted. If you haven't, just let me know and I'll do it again. It doesn't take long and it's important you have it. Hope some of you guys are not getting too blinded by science and actually starting to learn stuff. And you might not think at the moment, but I try and keep these things simple, so it's quicker to operate. Everything's confusing when you start, but you can really make confusing by a lot of stuff that can be added to it. And I just don't think it really adds value. Rather keep it simple, like the strategy I use here. And the odd one that happens, you just go figure. It's outside your control. It is a fact that more win than lose. From the trading trade ideas we've got here. That is fact. I won't stop you getting frustrated, I'll tell you right now. The market is there to frustrate you. Like watching your favorite football team, eh? Yeah. Well, as I mentioned, I think the Kubo's out of action now for 6 months, and they've got ongoing repairs on the Medupi. Medupi's only released in the last few years. It's brand new, but again, it's quite frankly, what I'm told, shoddy workmanship. I'm not a mechanic, that's what I'm told. And oh, that's right, the diesel problem. They haven't got any money left. The government can't keep forking out for diesel, and so they can't get diesel. Remember, diesel over coal is very, very expensive. Just adding to the problem. Stage 6 to me has to be a weak Rand, surely. I mean, the world runs electricity, whether we like it or not. Not half. I just think about Spain actually, that moment. Apparently, fired the manager. I think it was a penalty shootout. I didn't say I watched something else, but apparently it was a penalty shootout, hey? And you think a top team like the World Cup would be pretty good at penalty shootouts, wouldn't you? Not what I know. I mean, you know, at that level of pressure, I don't know. Not for me to say. Portugal thrashed Switzerland. I mean, absolutely thrashed them. And Ronaldo wasn't on the pitch, apparently. I'm not being expert in football, I'm just because the World Cup got a bit involved. But to me, the team at the moment, to me, seems to be Brazil. The 10th time I watched them, they seem to be playing with the opposition. And I believe England seem to be in the shout. I think Bafana is sitting on the sidelines.
And far away.
I had far away, yeah. Okay, well, yeah. Any questions? If you haven't, because I don't want to waffle on all day. Are you happy, guys? Anyone to look at? Got a few more minutes. Don't just waste them. I mean, otherwise we'll go up and have supper or whatever. But anything else, Brady, Francisco, anybody else out there want to ask anything? Anything you're not sure about? And don't say how long have you got starting, but you'll pick it up as you go along. But anything, just a bit of clarity you require. I don't want any trading room guys who've been here a week or two going with wrong positions because you've got access to the calculator. We don't want you going in with 5 micros and the 500 on account with the 2,000 on the NASDAQ and you got $2,000 in your account. I don't want to be seeing that. Even if it comes right for you, you're overexposed. Be careful. Okay, Mr. Luke. Thank you, Finer. Thank you for interacting. Makes my job actually quite enjoyable. I enjoy it when that happens. And the fact you guys take the trouble to come here, look at the difference in knowledge. A guy, I think he's here at the moment, Marius Smith. He's only been doing this for about a month, and already he's cracking volumes and all the rest of it. Compare that with guys who don't bother coming here and still making mistakes, ridiculous, easy, basic mistakes, several months into the action. And then with that, we can conquer. What happens to bloody Iran at the moment is beyond me. But I mean, that we can't. That will do. The market will look after that. But yeah. But one thing it is, it's never boring, eh? It's, well, never boring, really boring, that's for sure, eh? Okay, well, I've learned a lot from you guys last week. Happy to listen. Okay, that's great, Brady. That is what I'm after. Have you learned a lot? If you've been here a week, would you say the week you've had here has been far more a learning curve than the previous month or so? I don't know how long you've been trading, maybe a month, 2 months. How long have you been trading? Because I say, the one thing you do when you come in here, you realize there's a bit to learn. And there's too many guys out there think they're going to get a signal, tap it into their phone, then go to the beach sort of thing. It's not quite as simple as that. But as long as you learn, that's the major thing. Never seen a name like Brady. I've seen B-R-A-D-Y, it's quite common. B-R-A-I-D-Y, I've not seen that one before. Well, okay, so great to start to get that, but it's over a year. But hopefully in the last week or so you've been here, you've sort of made up for that. And quite frankly, I know you're studying something separate, but instead of poring over classes and books, get the basics and get some of the training on. That's what I'm trying to tell guys. You need to get the practical levels quickly. Because I don't think they teach you things like economic fundamentals, or maybe they do, I don't know. Some of the stuff you learn in here, that's the practical aspect over the theory. Anyway, good to go, guys. Thanks very much. I just hope you've enjoyed it and it's been a good learning session. Hope not too much steam's coming out of the ears. And it's good to know we all get frustrated. It's going to happen to you, however long you've been here, with some things that just happen, which basically don't make, well, in my head anyway, a lot of sense. And sometimes you get runs that are just so unbelievable, you think you've conquered it, and it comes back and does something daft to you. So always be disciplined. That's the major thing. Okay, well, the dollar strengthening as we speak at the moment, I hope it continues, and then we get some decent stuff out tomorrow morning. Okay, guys. Yeah, so I'll catch you tomorrow. Those who can make it, of course. Thanks for joining. Thank you very much, Deborah. And have a good evening. and see you tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Thanks very much.